Jackie. I'm an Arizona realtor and have built a multi-million-dollar business with my husband by using what I learned from being a teacher. Now I'm bringing the steps I took to leave the classroom and become a top producing agent and team owner. So grab your coffee, cheer vanilla Coke, or maybe even a cocktail, and let's begin. What's up, friends? I'm so excited about today's episode because I think it will be super beneficial to anyone who's getting into real estate, or maybe if you've been in real estate for a while. So today's episode is all about interview questions. What should you ask when you're interviewing with a broker? What should you ask of the brokerage? What are ways that you can ensure that you are making the best choice for yourself? Now, I do want to start with a brokerage, and your relationship with that brokerage is not like a marriage, okay? It's more like you're dating. So it is easy to change brokerages, okay? But I wanted to talk about how to possibly pick the best one in the beginning. So anyhow, I was thinking the other day about when I interviewed for each of my teaching positions. So in my nearly 20 years in the classroom, I worked at 5 different schools. I changed positions 10 different times. Now, that may sound like a lot, but at one point I was actually looping my students, which obviously required changing grade levels. There was also times when I would start in a school, say like in an early primary grade, and anyone who knows me knows that although I love all children, I cannot do 7 hours in a kindergarten room. If you can, my hat's off to you. I couldn't do it. So for anyone who's ever been on a job interview, you know it's overwhelming, right? You spend the entire interview trying to sell yourself. You answer questions to demonstrate that you're the best candidate for the job. You offer scenarios. You tell stories from your life to give examples on why you're the one that they should pick, right? Now, I've always interviewed well. I stay calm under pressure. I'm able to articulate what I want to say. And I don't even really recall an interview in my entire life when I wasn't offered the job. Okay, guys, I'm really good at interviewing. However, the hardest part of an interview isn't the questions that they ask you. It's the ones that you don't ask them. So think about the last interview you had, and you know they ask you lots of questions. Tell me about yourself. They ask all these different open-ended questions so that way they can get a gauge of your real personality. Then they offer you scenarios and want to know either one, how would you handle the situation, or how have you handled the situation? Now at the close of the interview comes the question, what questions do you have for us? Now, guys, you should have some questions, okay? You need to advance your career, right? That's the mission of starting a new job. You're looking for better opportunities. Now, having a career in real estate is no different than having a career in education. The job, the actual duties of a job does not change. Nothing changes. What changes when you open your minds to making a shift in the school or possibly in a brokerage is your happiness. Your happiness can change, your joy could change, and possibly your ability to invest more into your future. So the first step to your successful career in real estate is choosing the right real estate broker to work for and knowing what questions to ask. So there are wide differences among real estate brokerages, both in what they offer, as well as their commission splits, their expectations, and ultimately their cultures, which is extremely important. I think I can go back and look at all the schools that I worked at, and sometimes the reason why I change had nothing to do with commission splits, expectations. It was just the culture. I was looking for something different. Now, many new agents, brand new, and I did this myself, will base their decision on the best commission split. And that usually is not the best route, especially when you're new. Now, I highly recommend that you meet with at least 3 different brokerages. Before you meet with them, you need to do your research on them, okay? So once you find the 3 that look the most appealing to you, schedule time to meet and ask questions. So I've put together some questions and I've put them into different categories, okay? So the first category obviously is financial type questions. These would be things like, what is your commission split? Are there any franchise fees? Do you offer a commission cap? Are there any other broker-related fees? What other expenses could I actually be responsible for? Now, guys, this is really important to ask because before you start making money, Some brokerages may have you already spending money. You need to know that in the beginning, okay? Second category, super important. What are the broker benefits and the offerings? So here's the things you want to ask. Do you offer any of these things? Business cards, okay? You're going to have to get your business out there. If you don't have to pay for business cards, that's great. What about signage? Guys, those fancy signs that you pass by when someone's selling a house, they're expensive. They're not overly expensive, but if you haven't sold a house, they could get kind of pricey. So asking that broker, hey, do you have signs that I could use before I have my first sale? Lock boxes. Those are those little blue things that, us realtors, we put the key in, and then that's how other agents can access the home. Those are also pricey. So do they have those for you? Are you going to get a standalone website? Are they going to give you leads? If they are going to give you leads, what's the commission split on those? Is there a closing coordinator within that brokerage? What type of technology support do they have? Do they offer CE? CE is just like our professional development. So realtors are required to do a specific number of CE hours each year, or even within like 2 years. That's depending on your state. So do they offer those courses for you? Are there e-sign tools? Do they offer a free CRM? A CRM may sound like something that you're like, what in the world is that? Basically, it is your database for all clients, all future clients, all past clients, and a proper CRM will actually help you make money. What about discounts for vendors? What about marketing resources? Do they offer meeting spaces? Is there an administrative staff? So these are questions that you need to know. Now, the next category is education and support. This is probably the most important set of questions for someone who is newly licensed also, okay? So these are the things you want to know. What type of classes do you offer? Okay, what are they going to help you do? You want to know specifically what those classes are and make sure that there are things that sound like you would need those, okay? How often? If they're only meeting with you once a month and you're a brand new agent, guys, it could take a while before you actually are even in a position where you could help someone sell a house. These classes that they're offering, are they in person? Are they over Zoom? Are they pre-recorded? Who do you contact if you have questions about a contract? Guys, this is so important. There should not be just one person that you get in touch with when you have questions. There should be a list, because guess what? There's going to be lots of questions that you have. And if you only have one person, well, then how's that going to work? All right. What about a mentor program? Does the broker have a mentor program, and how does it work? Guys, after you ask this question, ask if they could give you a name of someone who's currently in the mentor program. Talk to them, because someone who is actually using the mentor program may have a different outlook than someone who designed it. All right. The next category is about broker environment and what are their expectations. So things like how many agents are in the office? How often do you have a team meeting or happy hours or lunch and learn sessions? Are there any meetings that are absolutely 100% mandatory? What does the broker do to help promote your listings? The office, the agents. How are you involved with the surrounding communities? What are the expectations that the broker has for you? All right, the last category of questions is company culture. Okay. Now, if you think back to any times that you have ever either moved from one school to the other or possibly thought about putting in for a transfer, guys, it's usually about the culture. It's the people that you're with every single day. So ask these questions. Can you describe the atmosphere of the office? Now, if they say, oh, it's always wonderful, guys, use your senses. Look around. Does it look like there's a lot of collaboration, or do you see people individually sitting at different tables, not talking to each other? If someone says, oh, our office is very collaborative, and everyone is like 7 feet away from each other, that doesn't really shout collaborative, right? If they say that, oh, it's a great place to be, and you see these people whose faces definitely do not look like it's the greatest place to be, guys, they're probably lying, okay? So really take care of that. Now, here's some other questions that you would ask. Would it be possible to take a tour? Can I meet some of the agents and the staff? And when you meet with them, ask them questions. Guys, what do you think about your brokerage? See what they say. Also, ask for some phone numbers of some of the agents in the office. Reach out to them, talk to them. And lastly, something that I think is super important is ask if you can sit in on an upcoming training session or an upcoming team meeting. What this is going to do is this is going to actually allow you to see their team and their brokerage in action. Now, guys, this may seem like a lot, but these are excellent questions that will help you ensure that you make the best choice. But let's say you ask all these questions, okay? You ask every single one of them, and you really think that this one brokerage is going to be the best fit for you. You get there, day one, seems great. You're going through, and you're like, oh, everything that was promised, it's not really coming to fortune. Guess what? You can move your license from one broker to another. Yeah, it's not impossible. And for the most part, most agents who've been in the business for a while are just like us in the teaching field. They're not at the same place that they started out at. They have grown, they have moved on and found somewhere else. Now, it may be difficult to determine the atmosphere and the company culture of a brokerage, but it's critical to learn as much as possible beforehand. As an agent, you work independently most of the time, but also you need a supportive environment when issues arise or when you want to take your business to the next level. And choosing the right brokerage can make a big difference to your success and your happiness. Now, if you are thinking about a switch to real estate, I would love to support you and bring you in our collective group of agents. We have partners in multiple states, and throughout our coaching and training and support, they are leaving the classroom and going full time. But maybe that's not your goal. Maybe you just want to supplement your income and save for the future. Not a problem. Let's connect and chat on ways that I can help you reach your goals. Going into real estate can seem scary. Starting something new can be a challenge. But guys, you, that teacher on the other side of that phone, you keep the attention of 24 to 32 children a day for 7 hours. You maintain peace in a sea of hormones and body odor. You can do this, and I'm here to help you. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Jackie Durbin AZ and at Teachers in Real Estate. Also like, share, and rate this podcast. And if you need to have state-specific questions, don't worry, reach out to me. I'll gladly help. People mean to help you. They should. They should be doing things to help you. And if they're not, come on over to my tribe. I'll help you out, guys. All right, see you next time.